What up, slides and dimes, my hip-hop crimies and crimettes and my renegades? Welcome back to the couch. It's your man BITO'S here with another reaction. So if you know, you know. If you don't, hit that button below. I love when I do these ones, though. Guess who we back with today? My man, RORY MAL, dog. Good old RORY MAL. We are here with them reacting in regards to they've been chatting a lot of lately in regards to just the King of New York talks. I want to say they had a segment prior to this one here, which is them talking about Joey Badass, because as we know, Joey Badass had dissed or came at Kendrick, whatever you want to say. Like, there ain't no names. It ain't really a diss to me. It's just more of like subliminal talks, and if you just understand music, you're just gonna take it that way. But I guess they're having this conversation in regards to who the King of NY is. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like just a few days before they were talking about J. Cole as the King of NY, which, if you ask me, there hasn't been a King of New York for a long time. So it's funny seeing this conversation spark back up, and this is why I had to click on this. I'm going to click on J. Cole's version too, but I had to hit the Joey Badass one because that's more current and more recent, and he just recently dissed Kendrick or whatever you want to call it. But this King of New York talk is rather interesting because there hasn't been a King of New York, in my opinion, since Jay-Z. If we're going to talk King of New York, Jay-Z, Nas, whatever you want to say. There hasn't been a real King of New York after that. Like, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video as well, to subscribe to the channel. But let me know in the comments below, like, who is that person to take the crown and be the King of New York? Now, the last person that did try to take it was an outsider. It was Kendrick Lamar talking about he's the King of New York. So that goes to show that really hasn't been a real King of New York since Jay, Nas, Biggie, whatever you want to call it. Now, before I get too much into what this is, I disagree 1000% with J. Cole being the representative of the King of New York. I know he's around here, but he's not from there. And I don't know if this is something that they mentioned in their previous video regarding to talking about J. Cole being the King of New York. We're going to react to that as well, too. But I personally, being an outsider myself, you can't crown somebody outside of the city as the King of New York, right? Ain't J. Cole from Carolina? He's from down south, right? He's from down south, right? Or is it Jersey? One of the two. I don't know. I don't really follow J. Cole, but I'm for damn sure I don't think he's from New York. I might have to hit the Googles while I'm at it, but yeah, I don't think he's from New York. I'm like 95% sure that he's not from New York. Brothers could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna hop right into RORY MAL's take on Joey Badass, and let's just see right now. It says, if Joey Badass isn't the King of New York, who is? So that's what they're saying. Cause I guess I can't remember the whole song, but I think Joey Badass had claimed that he was the King of New York now. Which is an interesting take within itself too, because in my opinion, what has Unique, aka Joey Badass, like done musically to claim this crown? That's just me. I like him. I like what I heard. I don't listen to too much Joey Badass, but like as far as I know, I've known him as Unique, and he hasn't dropped anything where people are like, "Oh, have you heard the new Joey Badass?" or "This Joey Badass is dope." So I've never heard Joey Cole. Joey Badass's like name in conversations like that. So let's just see what we got going on here, man. And also, this man J. Cole ain't even from New York, dog. He was born in freaking Germany, bro. Alright, man, we're done with this. Alright, man. He can't be the King of New York.
Besides us, I feel like Joey Badass popped off the year too. New York City's looking alright in the first 2 days. We got the smoke for everyone. I mean,
I disagree only because New York in the east side, like I said, when it comes to this bop and they got one, they ain't got one yet. So far, the West has taken the throne back when it comes to like what sounded good on the music. We digress.
Internal beef with Elliott, Cam, and Mace, but we'll squash that.
Yeah,
New York, we got to stick together.
Oh yeah, we got to stick together, man.
We're holding it down 2 days in, and Joey Badass is holding it down 2 days in. He dropped, I won't call it a freestyle, but a record. The Ruler's back. He wanted to show us his new property, and I forgot how much money that Joey Badass gets. It's like $250,000 just for a fucking festival. Sometimes like the quote-unquote non-popular rappers,
get the bag,
perception-wise. I like when they remind everyone that they have way
they
more
get the
fucking
bag
money than the people they think are popular.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta.
I agree with RORY on that 1000%. I've just actually been going into like independent artists. I'm like, yo, these independents be really balling out here, and like, they got a lot to say, and they not controlled by nobody. So I agree with Mal 1000%.
you got to let them know, because you're not as, on the timeline as much, and people faces as much. People think that you're not having success and you're not making money because, you're just not, quote unquote, in mainstream.
Not posting it.
Yeah, which I think Joey Badass is mainstream. I don't think you can be.
Let me find out me and Maul about to agree on some shit today, too. This is the new year, 2025, huh? Let me not speak too soon.
On a major show like, Raising Kanan, and not be considered.
But also his cult-like following that he has with his music when he tours, especially overseas.
Didn't even know we had that. That's crazy.
Again, I've never been the stunt money guy, but when these types of guys do it, I think it's necessary to remind the rest of the timeline that it's okay to be the quote-unquote underground guy and still make more money than everyone.
Still live very comfortable.
Let me ask y'all a question out there for the audience too. Once again, don't forget to like the video, subscribe. This is kind of what I do when I review or react to Rory and Mal stuff. Like, we didn't watch it, we didn't see it, I didn't see it yet, but like y'all didn't see it. So by the time it comes to over here, y'all already know what's going on. But my question to y'all is like, is underground artists still a thing? Like, is that something that we're considering still a term to call the artists that aren't mainstream? Like, I feel like underground has kind of dated itself a little bit, but that's all I got. Let me know if the term underground artist has dated itself, because I feel like with the access and just how they can put their music out there like that, it's not like they're underground anymore, they're just independent. I think the new term is called independent, right?
I don't even want to go back to the Joey Badass Troy Ave situation, but that was the last time I remember Joey Badass reminding all of us that he had way more money than everyone else. When Troy's like, "Oh, you guys not in the club, you're not doing this," like, bro, I just sold out Copenhagen for $250,000 5 times.
Life
do the
is good.
fucking math.
Life is good.
But he put this out, and it had the post 2024 Kendrick OVO communities back talking. I know they were a little depressed that we all thought we were going to go into 2025 leaving that battle behind us, but they said, "Oh no, we're going to pick and choose 3 words from Joey Badass and make this a Kendrick Lamar diss." So beef is back on.
Is that what they're doing?
So it's a great freestyle.
I feel them on that too. I'm like, I don't see it, and I feel like a lot of it's just reaching stuff as far as what he said on that record. Because I think, once again, it's like, if you're not saying the name directly, it don't really make sense. I liked what he was. I liked how he sounded. I like what he was rapping about, but I didn't take the 4 things that I caught from what he was saying as a Kendrick Lamar diss. Now, I took it being like, oh, he's saying something and he's being subby, because it goes back to like subby. I don't take subbies as disses versus like you're just being subby and letting the artist know I'm talking about you, but I'm not saying your name yet. What you gonna do? But this, nah, not so much.
By the way, he starts out the what would be second verse, too much West Coast dick licking, which
There's a Jay-Z
this
line.
is a time where I hate. You can put that photo away.
My fault to pause, but yeah, that's just too much West Coast dick licking and too many niggas on a mission doing their best Jay-Z rendition. Like, that's how I took the line at first. Like, I didn't take that as, now if you don't know that line, or if you don't know 22 twos, then you might take that as a diss. Like, oh, everybody's loving the West has been killing the game lately. You could take it that way. But also, that line was in the times, if it was either before, in between, or whatever, that definitely was when the West was getting mad love too. So you can kind of take that double and be like, he might have been dissing because the West is getting a lot of love right now because the East hasn't dropped anything. I don't know since when. Right now, the West has the music game on lock. I know people probably from the East or people don't want to admit that, but the West has got the game on lock. That's all.
This is a time where I hate, which we realized in the Kendrick and Drake battle, the younger fans that just weren't around. It's not their fault. They have no idea what certain references mean. So the younger crowd that just got into hip hop and just got into,
like I said, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, bro. Like, they about to get right into what I just said. I already know, because they about to talk about the line. Like, they wasn't around for that, so he's gonna take it as a diss.
Rap beefs this year. Thought Joey Badass really said too much West Coast dick licking, not knowing that that's a J reference from 22 Twos, when there was the Bad Boy Death Row beef.
Right.
And he was like, yo, Chronic, Doggy Style, Pac, too much West Coast dick licking. New York needs to say something. I think that's a very appropriate reference in the year that just happened. We just came on here last episode and said LA even won the fucking MLS championship.
Facts.
LA had a fucking year in
Facts.
I think it's a very Brooklyn move to say
Too much West Coast dick licking. 100%.
Rap in 2024.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't take it as a diss. I just thought it was a clever way to put out a record to start the year when you're about to roll out more music.
I don't think
This is why I bang with Rory, dog, because Rory be getting it. Now, though he has his moments and his times where he be on some bullshit, this is why I really bang with Rory versus like OVO Mal a lot, because like he'll literally be like, this happened 20 years ago. And a lot of people, once again, like if you see my reaction to the Joey Badass, I said a lot smooth this time, but I fucked it all up on the video because like I was just like, all right, like I see the captions, I see what people are talking about, but I'm like, where are we dissing at? But I understand we're coming off of like the beef. We're thinking everything's about beef and anything Kendrick or Drake or whatever drops is gonna be beef. But it's like, yo, like that's a Jay-Z line. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I think I felt like it took it as a diss was, you know, the Black Air Force or the Bing Bok Boom Bok Bam shit. But the West Coast dick licking off the jump, I knew that was Jay-Z 22 twos.
People understand what disses are anymore.
They don't.
I think that people hear anything, you know, as soon as you mention a specific coast or artist, like automatically it's, oh, that's a shot, or they throwing, you know, they dissing each other, and it's like, well, sometimes yes, that is the case. I just think that people need to get back to what
music is.
A diss.
Yeah.
You know, just because somebody says your name and, you know, mentions where a city where, you know, people are from doesn't mean that it's a shot or it's a diss.
And
I know I'm pausing a little bit in and out, but like this is crazy that I'm like fully, like I normally don't get this far with agreeing or co-signing with Mal and what he's standing on, but nah, that's 100%. Like not everything is a diss, like, and I feel like even in the reactor world too, like we try to clickbait it and like say certain things where it's like, yo, you listen to this shit, dog, like you know he wasn't really dissing, bro. Like I get it, but like it's not, I wouldn't say necessarily we diss it because I'm from that, like a lot of us is from that era, bro, where like if you dissing a dude or whatever, like you're gonna say his name and it's gonna not be no subtle like cute lines like that. It's gonna be something where it's like there's gonna be like a whatever though, or fuck y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying, like what Jay-Z did and shit. Like there's gonna be certain ways where you're gonna be like, okay, he's dissing this, and I feel like that's a part of the element that people are missing when it comes to like trying to identify if it's a diss or not. Like, yes, you can take your interpretation and be like, okay, yeah, but once again, if they not direct, I don't take it that way, and that's how I felt with the Joey Badass shit, except for the Bing Bop Boom shit.
what I didn't like, it's of course the younger kids in the communities on Twitter don't get that. It was Daylight, shout out Daylight, friend of the show. He had put something up on IG that's not worth replying to, and then a bunch of guys that were featured on GNX were saying things like, that's too light, you gotta come harder than that. It's like, now you guys know what that reference is to. That's not a diss.
Now, did somebody
like, it's
from
not a diss.
Now, did somebody from the West Coast mention Joey Badass's name though, in a record somewhere?
Not that
we might have missed that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Because his next bar after that was, I'm hearing niggas throwing rocks, really ain't shit sticking. So
okay, but that's also in reference for the rest of the verse. We did just see, I have no information about it, of that altercation that Joey Badass had in that store. I think he was referencing more stuff in regards to that situation than anything else. But like some rappers have two bars that just get you to the next thing that have nothing to do with what they're really talking about. But also, I don't think Joey Badass is scared of any type of back and forth rapping in 2025 whatsoever. So it could have been one of those. It wasn't a diss.
If you want to take it that way, let's get it.
That way? Let's go.
yeah, but I'm not. I don't like things like that. I don't like for rap beefs to start by, yo, it wasn't a diss, but if you want to.
That's how they always start, bro.
Start, no? Outside of one
No.
come from street shit or direct with fucking the same girl.
Okay.
Like even, there's been so many different reasons of how the Jay and Nas thing really started, but
I feel like that Jay-Z shit started with like some E-Money. I feel like that shit started from like E-Money bags and some street shit, to be real. And then it just trickled over into the shit. But I'm getting my whole thing all mixed up though, so don't quote me on that.
your name out. Like certain things that are not direct, they could be anything, start to add up. I think they all kind of start from shit like this.
Yeah, subbies.
First person shooter started out. Well,
Nah, that shit was longer though. That was 13
it did.
years.
But there were so many years
Yeah,
of
that's
back
13
and
years,
forth
bro.
between
That don't even
Drake
matter.
and Kendrick
That's a
at that
different
point.
conversation.
That I think just solidified, all right, this is what it is. But this Joey Badass bar, I think plenty of rap beef start this way.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what rap beef, if any, comes of this stuff. Because I feel like that's just whoever responds and jumps out there. It's just like, you looking to get into it.
I agree. Yeah.
That's like the dude.
It goes back to like, I don't think that this is warranted for Kendrick to respond to. I don't even think that I I don't even think it honestly was a diss. I think it was like reference points and stuff like that. But I don't think it was directly a diss because he seems like Joey. Seems like the dude that like he's not gonna go that route if he wants to just make a statement and shit. But once again, it also is that where take it how you want to take it, and let me see how you're gonna reply. And if you reply saying my name, I got something for you because I am under the belief that all rappers have disses made for everybody. I've seen a few rappers mention that. I've seen a few people get into that. Like all rappers have that part of the game to them where like they have diss tracks ready for dudes. So this could just be another one of those things. Now if you're a true student of the game, they all are like that. Every artist, even if they're friends, they're all like this, dog. Some of them even openly say it. So that's not me just pulling it out the ass or anything. Artists be having diss tracks ready.
The comedians say you out there skating, black guys be playing hockey with no mask on, they just out there skating looking for beef. Like that's what that is. Yeah, like you just out here to fight, fam. You don't even want to like. You just out here looking to get into a battle with somebody. But shout out to Joey Badass. I thought he did a good job on this. And every time I hear Joey rap, I just laugh that Bow Wow inspired him to rap. Like
that's
nothing
crazy.
About the way Joey Badass raps.
Wait, what? Once again, I don't know about Joey Badass like that, but Lil Bow Wow, Shad Moss, is it? Influenced that guy who can rap pretty damn well because Shad was a great child rapper, but You Ain't Fresh As I'm Is like was not it. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. All right, respect.
I just can't. That is so wild to me.
I'm with you, Maul.
People also said I got murals in my city. Fucking nomination. This is for every time they left me out the conversation. That they said was a diss towards Kendrick, which just because Whacked Out Murals is his intro.
I think that's a reach.
I think that's a fucking.
I think
that's a reach.
Agreed.
Then Damaris, I sent you a clip, of course. Twitter, because they can't do Drake and Kendrick right now. I have to find any fucking way. The dance of Joey in his driveway and then Kendrick on stage one time out of the 1,000 performances he's done.
We
were dancing alike, huh? And that was a diss to Kendrick.
Yeah, that's
so I can see them now. That's a correlation to something.
Really? That just gives.
I don't know.
I mean, it's Drake did that dance, and obviously Kendrick did it mocking Drake. And now
I didn't even catch that. That's interesting, but I still think it's a reach until they get to Bing Bok Boom Bok Bam shit. That's like and then the Black Air Force shit. Like those are really the only two that made me feel that way. I'm gonna keep screaming that, but I didn't catch that part though. The whole now we might be saying something. What's my man Lethal Shooter? Like I said, I think I understand now. It might be something. Is it something, nothing, or everything? Let me know in the comments below if what Joey's song was something, nothing, or everything. Let me know.
On it, I guess. You know.
Interesting.
Ain't that the used to call me on my cell phone dance?
Yeah, he did that in Hotline Bling video. Yeah.
Some hilarious dance moves in that entire thing. But maybe that's like how Joey dances. Maybe that's like some Flatbush West Indian shit that we're just not on.
It could be. Listen, I'm 2025. I'm not creating no beefs. It could be. It could be. You could be right.
The other line that got conversation going, thank God that wasn't really Kendrick related or beef related, was Joey saying that he's the clear heir apparent to the New York throne.
That felt like control.
Which when we were having that funny conversation about J. Cole being from New York that everyone for some reason took seriously, because you can't have any fun in podcasting anymore. Everything you say has to be dead fucking.
When it comes to y'all, sometimes we don't know. But yeah, you had me doing the Googles on that, so I'm not even gonna watch that video now. Then, yeah, he's not from New York though, so it's all good. Germany ass nigga. No offense.
Serious.
Annoying.
When we were joking about J. Cole being from Queens and being the king of New York, we were saying that because it's very unclear on who that king could be.
Ain't been one since Jay and them.
I feel Joey on this, but kind of by default. Like, I don't know if it's really a stat. I think Joey's extremely talented and very much could be.
Before I let them finish, I don't think Joey should get the crown of king of New York either. But if he's gonna take it, sure, why not? Because like, what other, like I said earlier, like don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. What other rapper is out there that's really gonna take the throne as king of New York though? Because there hasn't been one since Jay, Biggie. Am I forgetting somebody in there? Nas maybe, like what, Jada? You know what I'm saying? Like Joe, Fat Joe. Like there's really been no real definitive king of New York since that time. 50 even, you know what I'm saying? Like he had his run, but I mean, if you ask me, the only real kings in New York, like, would be Jay-Z and Biggie to me. And then, like, I feel like 50 run New York or ran New York at a certain point in time, but I don't think he was the king of New York. I feel like those are two different conversations too, but that's not even has anything to do with that. But we're gonna let them finish.
The king of New York. I can't wait for his album this year.
Oh, Joey got an album coming out.
I think he's going. I mean, Joey. He came out. He's 14. What is Joey now? 21. Joey Badass has been in the game for 10 years. He's 20. I'm excited to see the second half of his career. Establish himself as an actor, but I very much think he's gonna take this music shit even more serious than before.
But why is everybody? Why
29.
What is this?
Crazy.
What is this King of New York thing though?
Word.
What, the
That's-
king,
You and your
That's been
family
a thing,
started
though.
it.
I was
the
gonna
King
say,
of New York is still Jay-Z.
I agree
He
with
said you and your family started. I'm like, ain't you related to the king of New York, bro? Facts though. He said you and your family started it. I'm dead.
you.
Like
Yeah.
why are we acting like I just don't understand it. Listen, rappers can say they
Okay.
get it off, but we
That's
know
what I'm
who
saying.
the
I'm
king
like,
of New
it's-
York
But that's
is
why
when
he
it comes
said
to
the
rap.
heir, like the apparent heir. Like, not I'm the king of New York, but I'm obviously who's next. Like, I'm
But
inheriting the
but I
crown.
think that's the problem that you say. We're saying Jay-Z is the king because in any other region of the country, Snoop is not the king of the West Coast.
Yeah,
But there's
Kendrick
a Mount
is now
Rushmore,
that.
though.
Snoop also was on stage calling Kendrick the new king of the West Coast.
Fair.
Nobody has ever. Jay-Z has not went
So
on
I
stage.
feel like
and
there's a
cra-
different conversation when it comes to like the West Coast crown versus the East Coast crown. Like there's not even East Coast, New York crown. Like that West Side shit. There's a Mount Westmore. Then there's the king. You know what I'm saying? Like then there's like that thing. So it's like there's levels to it. Like I feel like there's different levels to it over there versus New York. The politics is different. Like everything just seems to be way different on how you're crowning your MC on one side versus how they do it in New York. That's just my opinion. Because like if you ask me, you could say Snoop was the king of LA at one point, but then it's like, well, what about Cube? What about Short? What about E40? You know what I'm saying? Like you can throw Game in there, then you get Kendrick in there as well too. So it's like that one's a little bit different than this King of New York talk. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little different in my opinion. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe.
Found anybody from New York, the new king of New York.
I don't think people would say
It's still Jay to me, dog.
Andre 3000 or even currently T.I. would be the king of Atlanta. There's a bunch of other acts that are younger that you could say Future is the king of Atlanta.
King of
Yeah,
the
at one
South,
point you
though.
could've said
Remember,
Thug was the king of
whoa,
Atlanta.
whoa. See, now we're getting shit mixed up here. King of the South ain't just Atlanta. King of the South is T.I. Because who has taken the throne from T.I. since? Let's be honest. Yes, Future's hot, Thug's hot, but there ain't been no real King of the South. You know what I'm saying? Since then. You know, you can even give yourself some Scarface in there too, but Scarface don't want it. Face don't want it. T.I. is the King of the South, just like how Jay has been the King of New York. And how the West just got its own thing. I think they just so damn big that they're like, yo, here's the Westmore. And then whoever's underneath us can take the crown or run in or king of it at that time. Because clearly when Kendrick became the king, I think that's when the crown got taken from Game. And maybe that's why Game feels the way about Kendrick. I don't know. That's just me speculating as well too. But that could be exactly why Game feels the way. Because he got the crown taken from him without him giving it up to Kendrick. That's just fan speculation as we're digging into this. But yeah, it's possible.
That's an issue to me that we're saying right now, and everyone agreed in the room when you said it. Jay-Z is the king of New York. Jay-Z. I think he should not be the king of New York.
But I think the reason for that is that we don't, like all those other things I'm not mad
like all those other things that why don't we say that?
but a lot of people don't agree with Nicki's actions as far as what she does outside the studio.
I'm not mad.
I'm not even talking about being a good or bad person. I'm just talking about, Nicki gets a lot of slack for a lot of things that people deem as corny. So maybe the opposite, but not in New York. In New York, you're not allowed to be corny. Other places you're allowed to be corny. In New York, you're not allowed to be corny.
Sometimes that comes across corny. I can definitely say a lot of that super cool New York shit. If you don't back up, you come super fucking corny. Sure.
You talking about the music, dog.
I'm just talking about, Nicki gets a lot of slack for a lot of things that people deem as corny. So
I mean, Drake gets the same thing.
Corny is the opposite, but not in New York. In New York, you're not allowed to be corny. Other places you're allowed to be corny. In New York, you're not allowed to be corny.
Sometimes that comes across corny.
I mean,
I can objectively say a lot of that super cool New York shit. If you don't do it correctly, you come off super, super fucking corny.
For sure.
No, Warrior Mal.
Did we start the first?
All right. Well, this is the first time. 2025 is different, dog. 2025 is definitely way different because I've never sat through a whole thing and actually fully agreed with Rory and Mal together. I'm normally siding with Roy every single time, and then Mal just pisses me off. But nah, I'm completely on board with their whole stance on this shit. There's not much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe as well too. There's not much to really have around that conversation. Like, yeah, sure, Joey can claim to be the heir to the throne because there's nobody else in between. But yeah, the king of New York is Jay, bro. As much as I'm not a Jay fan like that, and I'm in and out with Jay, I'm understanding to know that Jay is the king of New York. And then I can argue 50 Cent the closest of anything. But yeah, that's Jay's throne. It is what it is. People can love it or hate it. The West is a whole different conversation. But let me know how y'all feel about who's the king of the West. Even though I feel like the West doesn't have a king, it has a mountain. You know, like Mount Westmore. You know what I'm saying? And I think those spots are solidified between Q, 40, Short, and Snoop. I don't think anybody's gonna remove them from that spot. Like the next thing you can do is be like, what's the next best thing? And that's when you say Game, Kendrick, or whatever after that. But yeah, that's what Mount Westmore is solidified. I think King of New York is solidified just as much too. King of the South just as solidified. So that's really what I got on that, man. There's not really a conversation with that because once again, those dudes put 20 plus years in to be these kings and on the, you know, the founding fathers of West Coast music and shit like that. So I think that this ain't really even a conversation, to be honest with you. Like, now that we're kind of digging a little bit deep into this, it's really not a conversation at all. It's Jay, the Mount Westmore crew, T.I., what else we got? I mean, shit, you can say Midwest. Probably give. Now, who would you give the Midwest to? Twista, Nelly, or Bone Thugs? I'm gonna leave on that note right there because that's where I was like, let me get my reasons on. I'm gonna leave it on that one because all of them around that same time, and we can easily have that conversation. So yeah, who's the king of the Midwest? Nobody's having that conversation. Let's get to it. Let's get active. But with that being said, man, don't forget to like the video, subscribe. Hopefully, y'all made it this far. I'm out of here. Peace.